Happy Monday. I think I want my hair there. I think I want it to be like that. Happy Monday, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you live from my car. It is moving. I do have my seatbelt on. And so I will be looking at the road. And from time to time, if I stop, I will be looking at you all. But if I do not, it's because I'm driving. I just want to encourage someone from a couple perspectives that I'm having today. First and foremost, if you are endeavoring to do something different with your life, or you're trying to, it doesn't even have to be something different. You could be doing what you're currently doing, and you don't have the support from a certain person or a group of people. I want to just challenge you today to focus on those who do. Over the weekend, I was having a conversation with some people and some things came up, and I remember telling the young lady, I'm like, look, we make the mistake of focusing on the person who does not, and then we miss out on experiencing all those who do for us, whether it's show up, compliment, etc., etc. And I remember getting this idea or this thought process from this book that I read from Brene Brown. She talks about how she was given a presentation and she was kind of nervous, but there was this one guy in the audience who was just sitting there all balled up, and you could tell that he wasn't agreeing with anything that she was saying. And so what happened in her presentation was that she began to speak louder, and she was more I don't even know the word. She was more animated, trying to win this one person over. And the downside of this was that she spent her entire presentation trying to get the approval of this one person that she completely failed to acknowledge, appreciate, or even just pay attention to the rest of the room, who was in complete agreement and nodding and just appreciative of what she was saying, because she was just so fixated on this one person, and just so uncomfortable with the fact that he was not agreeing with her and what it was that she was speaking about, and his body language was not approving of what she was like. She just needed that validation from him. Like, if she didn't have the entire room, it bothered her. And when I read that, I remember thinking, like, that's me, as much as, and that's a lot of people, but I'm okay to say that it's me, because as much as we are like, we say things like, as long as I can get through to one person, or as long as my lesson, got through to one of my students, or as long as someone left the room with something. But the reality is, no one goes into anything pouring their heart out just to be met with people disagreeing with them, even though that's the mature process. The mature process of anything is that you're going to have people who disagree, you're going to have people who hate, you're going to have people who despise, you're going to have people who are jealous, and instead of just saying they admire you, they say little slick remarks. Like, you're going to have that, right? That's life. And so we don't really like to acknowledge that, like, it would be nice to convince the entire room. It would be nice for everyone to be on board when I leave, after pouring out everything that I'm passionate about. And so all that to say, and this applies in every arena of our lives if we are completely honest with ourselves, right? When we're trying to venture into a new journey, when we're making decisions in our life, when we are presenting something, no matter how small or how grand, when we are sharing our opinion, whatever it is, no one really likes to be met with disagreement or someone just in complete opposition to what you're doing. But I'm here today, okay, in my preacher tone, I'm here today to tell someone, do not pay attention to the one, right? And depending on your audience, it might be, do not pay attention to the 10, or it might be, do not pay attention to the 100, because you will be discouraged. You will be discouraged, and you will find yourself spending a lot of time on things that you actually are accurate about and that you've mastered, because you're trying to convince the few, right? And it's possible, let me not say this as an indefinite thing, it is possible that some of the things we're working on could use fine-tuning. But I have found that sometimes, for instance, and I'm using myself because I want to neutralize the playing field of this, I have found that people who let's say don't care for me and my personality type, it usually had a lot to do with what they thought of themselves versus what they thought of me, right? It was presented as if I was problematic, but when I really took the time to sit down and process through the entire thing, I realized, oh, this person is bothered with these things because they want these traits within themselves, or my personality type ruffles up against this and they need to be sharpened in it. Is that to say that I'm perfect or that everything I present is spot on? No. I'm just saying that sometimes if we focus on the person who's ruffling our feathers too closely, we will try to fix what's not broken in us. I'm over here going in a circle because where I'm going, I don't have to be there yet. So I'm kind of delaying time. So I want to tell someone today to not pay attention to the few, and more so pay attention to the masses. You have, and I declare this right now for you if you're watching this, you have support. You have people rooting for you. You have people who wholeheartedly believe in you. You have people who love you. You have people who will rally around you. You have people who want to see you win. If no one's told you those things today, let me be the first to declare that over your life. And so the prayer might look like, God, can you reveal these people to me? Can you make me discerning enough to see the people that I might be overlooking? Can you place me in rooms where even if people critique me, it's because they really want to see me advance and not because they want to be discouraging? Because you will walk away from a lot of spaces and you will completely forget those who did and those who will, paying attention to those who did not and those who don't. Okay? So be encouraged today. Keep going. I know that God is consistently and constantly pressing this out and like showing me this for myself. Sometimes I underestimate just how much community I have around me. I mentioned in my video yesterday that November was a rough month, but in the same month, God did such a wonderful job of presenting people who, dare I say, I took for granted or overlooked, and he had them show up in mighty ways, and what they might have seen as like such a small thing, it was the timing of it, because everything was so raw and so noticeable. It was just like, man, like you would do that for me, or you went out your way to do this, like, or thank you for calling just to say this, like, I mean, just like, girl, you have people, right? So I'm telling the entrepreneur, the person with the dream that no one can fathom, the person who's venturing into something that no one really supports, the person who has an unpopular opinion, the person who's working on something that they can't articulate but they can feel stirring in their spirit, that there are people who want to see you win. And again, if you have not met them or you're not able to identify them, the prayer, instead of God, can you send them, is God, can you reveal them to me so that I'm not abusing them, so that I'm not overlooking them, and so that I'm not wasting the times that I'm giving presentations or I'm sharing my craft on the naysayers. Because I think about that example Brene Brown gave, and I'm like, I wonder what other people walked away with, right? And even if I want to like level set it for myself, there are times, especially my first year teaching, where there were students in my classroom where I'm like, oh, okay, you're going to be difficult. And I would find myself kind of like rising up, and then I look around the room and there are other kids in there who just love, they love that I check in with them, they love that we can laugh, they love, what I'm saying, like you miss out on the people who prefer you the way you are, and love what you're contributing to the table, trying to please the few. So yeah, if you're working on something, I just want to tell you, like, it really, truly is important that you take you take a temperature check of your room and you ask yourself, where are my believers in here? Let me get around people who believe in what I'm pushing. Yes, I want to convince new people to support and rally around this, but I want to make sure I'm not abusing those who understand and, support, etc., etc. And even for yourself as the person who is sharing your craft, cultivating your craft, perfecting it, whatever you want to say concerning it, be encouraged and pay attention to those people, because that is where you'll be recharged time and time again. When I pay attention to the person who is rejecting me, I miss out on all the people who have been checking for me, right? When I pay attention to the student who's challenging me, I miss out on the rest of the classroom who is like, we rocking with you, we got you, we understand what you're saying, we appreciate how you broke that down. When I'm paying attention to that one bad apple, I miss the tree full of other apples. I hope this is making sense to someone. So yeah, all in all, just focus on, make the main thing, and make sure you're not missing opportunities and moments where God is fully showing up for you and affirming you through people and through community by paying attention to the one or the few that are in direct opposition. That's really what I want to get at. Make sure you are paying attention to those who do and not spending so much time, energy, emotions, thoughts, etc. on those who don't and those who won't and those who, just never have. We have got to train our emotions and our thoughts to be focused on what propels us forward, or we will lose so much time in growing as a person, in evolving as a, whatever you want to call yourself, as a fill in the blank, and you can put your career there. We will lose so much time on people who have time to waste. Right? When I think about people who, even guys, when I think about, let's say over the years, guys who may not have chosen me or who never was looking my way, I think about how many guys was I ignoring because I was so fixated on this one person. How many dates did I pass up on? How many, how many great opportunities did I overlook or miss because I was paying attention to one person, one situation, one crowd? You know what I mean? So I think I'm done. I think I got that across. So anyway, y'all, I will see y'all in the next vlog. It snowed last night in Columbus. I was praying for a snow day, and my school was like, yeah, get up. You're coming to school on time. So it's supposed to rain and snow tonight, starting at 3. It's 3:06 and there's nothing falling from the sky. So instead of preparing myself for a possible snow day, I'm just going to go ahead and get myself together as if it was a regular day. So I'm done driving around this little area. I was just wanting to pull over and just record this video real quick, but now that I have that done, I'm going to carry on with the rest of my day. I'll see y'all in the next video. Please like and subscribe and share this video, and also comment below, like, let me know some of your experiences, and is this something you struggle with? Do you sometimes lose sight of what's important? Because that's really what it is. Are we focusing on the wrong things? Are we not making the main thing the main thing? Are you missing opportunities to feel loved, to have your community, to feel supported, etc., focusing on the wrong group of people or the wrong person? And if you are, how do you plan to change that? When do you plan to change it? This is definitely a practice that requires renewing your mind concerning it often, right? Because we are met with rejection way more than we can articulate or even count sometimes. So you have to almost tell yourself, okay, this person didn't come, but these people did. This person didn't call, but these people called. This person didn't buy a ticket, but these people purchased a ticket. This person didn't compliment me, but I can compliment myself and God compliments me. This didn't happen, but this. You almost have to teach yourself to do that. So I'll see y'all later. Have a wonderful day.